How's it going, everyone? Thanks for checking out my video. I absolutely appreciate what Jones is doing and what the entire truth movement is about. And I'd like to fill in, I think, what is a missing aspect of the solution that, combined with the other ideas, would absolutely create a lasting change and help save this republic from corruption in government completely. But it's going to take lots of public participation, and I'm advocating that people utilize their state's initiative rights and ballot access rights to put forward citizens, initiatives, referendum, recalls, nominations, and citizen grand juries. There's 5 states that allow for citizen grand juries. In those states, like Oklahoma and New Mexico, for example, people can take corporations to court, and judges and corrupt members of their political establishment, bureaucrats. So it's really important that people utilize this process, because otherwise they're just relying on politicians to fix the problems. And we know that too many politicians are paid off. And until we address that aspect of corruption in government, I don't really see the solutions advocated by uh, the whole team, in terms of getting liberty-minded candidates together, as being a solution. I agree with that. That's why I'm all for nominations, where we can put our own candidates on the ballot. But I see failures in the Green Party, in the Libertarian Party, in the American Independent Party, and just the fact that there are several third parties that all claim and advocate, stopping corruption in government and corporate handouts, for example. They don't unify, and that splits up the vote, and that keeps any of them from being able to acquire the votes they really need to beat either the Republican or Democratic parties. So I, like the founding fathers, believe that there should not be parties. And with ballot access, people don't need to vote for parties. They can vote for direct candidates that are nominated beyond what the political parties put forward. And we can have unified candidates with unified ideals. And most importantly, we can put forward initiatives for the direct solutions we want to see. And of those initiatives, we can create nullification acts that directly nullify corrupt federal government actions, creating sovereign states' rights. One of the most important initiatives that have ever been put forward and passed by voters was in the early 1900s, and it was in the state of North Dakota. And a lot of people are aware of the sovereign money system North Dakota has with a state bank. And this was created by citizens' initiatives. A lot of people who watched the film The Secret of Oz, for example, by Bill, I want to say Still is his name, Bill Still, I believe. The same fellow who wrote Money Masters, who did the film Money Masters. Uh, you know, he covered a lot of aspects of that, and he shows why it's an actual solution, but he doesn't mention that it was created by Citizens Initiative. The states that have medical marijuana laws, many of which were done by Citizens Initiative. Wichita, Kansas just had a referendum on fluoride in the water. This was citizens' action at the ballot, voting for that change, and a majority vote passing that change into law. And it just goes to prove that democracy is not such an evil thing when it's utilized for issues that really help people. I'm absolutely confident democracy can get out of hand. But when it comes to the freedom movement, when it comes to creating liberty, when it comes to restoring the republic, I see direct democracy as the most direct solution. And a lot of legislation we need has already been written, and it can be passed with a majority vote, and it can be put on the ballot very easily if the people in their prospective states take the action to accomplish those goals. And the information is available to the public for free. And I'd really like to see some more changes occur, like state banks being created. That would nullify the federal government right there. We can do nominations. We can recall senators and congressmen. We can put more checks and balance on the justice system. And state uh, the state option to have a citizen grand jury can be utilized to sue corporations and politicians and corrupt bureaucrats and really put them in their place. 5 states have that right. Oklahoma, New Mexico, Kansas. I really think that it's about time people utilize that process. And Just look at what Iceland did when they nullified their debt with the IMF through citizens' referendum. They don't really have the same initiative rights that states here in America have, but they were able to vote on a referendum allowing them to stop the new bailout, essentially, of their country from the IMF that was going to put them in more debt. And that was a step in the right direction. So there's a lot of evidence that shows that this can work. A lot of people are aware of the historic labeled genetically engineered food initiative in California. I was one of the top signature collectors on that initiative. I've been working in the ballot initiative industry for over 8 years, and I've had 3 years of experience doing citizens, grassroots organizing, door-to-door fundraising for lobbyists to represent the people on issues that they're concerned about. Like with Florida Consumer Action Network, I worked with Clean Air Council in Philadelphia and Clean Water Action. And that experience has given me a different perspective that people can get out there, they can fundraise for their causes when necessary, and the grassroots can put legislation forward through the legislature and push the politicians to do things. But when that doesn't work, the most direct route is when we put our initiative in front of the voters and let the voters decide. So we need to have initiatives drafted and written for more accountability at the ballot, for paper ballots, for public disclosure of the counts, for a complete public count on video that everyone can watch in their areas, to ban Diebold voting machines, to ban all digital voting, and just to restore the integrity of the voting system should be a top priority. Secondly, we should work for most historic initiatives like state bank initiatives, such as the one in North Dakota. And I believe I feel I am an environmentalist. I would like to see legalization and decriminalization of all marijuana and industrial hemp. Primarily industrial hemp, as an individual initiative, can at least raise awareness about that solution and provide real clean energy source for the diesel trucks and engines. And a new automotive industry can be born from that. I would like to see initiatives to end water fluoridation and to ban the geoengineering, HARP, and chemtrails. Alaska has ballot initiative rights, and the people in Alaska can put forward an initiative to investigate the harmful effects of HARP, and if found that there are harmful effects from the HARP system, it should be shut down, and that can be done by direct initiative. Citizen grand jury could sue the U.S. military industrial complex to basically put an end to their geoengineering, their cowardice assault on our environment, and the politicians who support water fluoridation. I don't see why not, and I think that it's about time we do something. So there's 5 ways we can use the plebiscite, which is the signature gathering process, to get signatures from voters to put initiatives on the ballot, in referendums, recalls, nominations, and citizen grand juries. And we can really utilize that process to create direct change. And I've outlined a strategy to accomplish that at activismtruth.com. And if you link up with me, if you send me your email to the site, if you join the forum, then we can start working together. We can start talking this out. I filed for a corporate entity in Arizona called Liberty Economy that's about to be official in about 2 weeks. I just got the papers back. I got to put the article in the newspaper and it will be official. And then I'm going to start a massive video campaign and a lot of blogging, and it's been a long time in the coming, but I've been very busy and haven't had all the time I've wanted to dedicate my whole life to this cause. But it's about time because things are getting really bad out there. So we need to act on these problems directly. And instead of waiting for politicians to do them ourselves using the plebiscite process. So that concludes this message. Again, I agree with the Truth Movement and Alex Jones' message. You might have noted his associate Gerald Calente. I read his book Trends 2000 back about 2001 after it came out. I love that book. Gave me a lot of ideas. He is an advocate for direct democracy and wants to put something together, I believe. He is just also so busy himself that he has not put together the framework to really create the digital direct democracy he talks about. And Senator Mike Gravel, who has had a falling out with the 9/11 Truth Movement because he embezzled some funds. Uh, at least that is a claim. At least, at very least, there's a little bit of good in the actions that he took towards paving the way for a 9/11 Truth ballot initiative in Massachusetts that would allow for a real investigation. And they failed due to lack of funds, um, lack of real understanding of how the process would have worked in Massachusetts at the time they launched it. But that initiative will be launched again very soon, and I'm proud to be a sponsor of that initiative. And I'd like to organize people from Massachusetts to Alaska to California to Florida for permanent ballot access, where we basically call on our friends and family and ask them to sign petitions when they're available, and we organize them ourselves. And we have a decentralized revolution of the mind where we educate people about the solution, we get them interested, we let them know that there will be a calling time, and we'll ask them to sign crucial initiatives. And when that time is ready, we should be organized enough amongst ourselves to get all the signatures we need for initiatives practically within the time of 7 days, a week. We can have all the signatures we need instead of these last minute deadlines where campaigns are launched and then they have 180 days, for example, to collect a 250,000 or 500,000 signatures, and it's very tiresome, very tedious, and uh, can often result in failure. With a permanent ballot access network, we won't have to worry about that problem. We can put initiatives on the ballot almost effortlessly, year after year, until things are really resolved. And just mind you that this process actually allows us to educate voters for the simple act of getting it on the ballot. Every voter gets a voter guide and they can read about the solutions. And that is part of the solution. So a very complete strategy is outlined on the website activismtruth.com. Please check that out. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. There will be a lot of updates. And read it and ask me if you have any questions. And please direct others to it. Please share this video. There is also a Facebook group and a forum with the Thrive Network. And all that information is on the website. And if you can see an incentive to motivate yourself and play a role in this, writing articles, making videos, contact me today, because it will be the best decision you've ever made, because this is a real solution. And with enough people participating, we can absolutely stop corruption in government and empower the people with a legitimate fourth system of checks and balances. It will be completely made up of patriot-minded people that are beyond the left-right paradigm, ready for real solutions. Thank you for watching this video.